Dateline Zurich, Switzerland, almost 3 years ago. Rescuers finally reached the remnants of a light private aircraft late yesterday afternoon, 12 kilometers from the village of Sunderman in the Levantine Alps. The aircraft was owned and piloted by Schuyler Whitney, international playboy and heir to the Samuel Whitney fortune. The flight plan was filed for passage between Bern and a ski resort in the southern Levantines and listed a passenger, Jefferson Brown, known to be a personal friend of the pilot's. A rescue party, which reached the site of the crash, reported the plane apparently had slid into a mountain crevice upon impact, and only a few remnants of the plane have been found. Identification was made through serial numbers found on a piece of the tail section. There were no known survivors.
I don't know what to say.
Well, now, here's another one. It's a brief one, just a follow-up 2 months later, and this one is also Dateline Zurich. Schuyler Whitney, international society figure, has been released from the hospital after spending many weeks in a coma. Mr. Whitney was found in a mountain lodge near the village of Sunderman after the plane crash that took the life of his friend and co-pilot Jefferson Brown. Mr. Whitney plans to resume his business activities in Zurich and other international capitals in the future.
You've spoiled it, Raven. Damn you. You've spoiled it all.
You want dessert?
Oh, no, Kelly, I give up.
Good, because I got a better idea.
What's that?
How would you like to go over to Mike and Nancy's and have an after-dinner drink with them?
Oh, Kelly, that is a wonderful idea. I would love to. I love being with the cars. They make me feel so at home here.
I know exactly what you mean. Now, I've been on the receiving end of that kind of kindness and generosity for some time now.
Well, folks, I'm just checking over here. Is everything all right?
Everything is wonderful, Sid. Thank you.
I enjoyed it, too. It was really fine.
You know, lunch as well as dinner. Now, you can't say I'm not a loyal customer here.
Well, that's what I like to hear. You can't get any better than that. If we ever open for breakfast, you'll be the first to know.
Good.
You want anything else?
No, just our check, thank you.
Okay.
That's right. I saw you in here for lunch with Jody. You know, Kelly, you haven't told me much about Jody and you.
Well, there really isn't that much to tell, Val. You know, we're good friends. We're supportive of each other. Try to help out all that we can. We enjoy each other's company, but that's about it.
Well, that's nice. I mean, it's nice to have a friend like that to share things with. How long have you known her?
We've known each other about a year now. Listen, Val, when I was going through a very difficult period in my life, Jody was very supportive, and I'll always be grateful to her for that. Always. And now that she's going through a difficult period, I'm trying to, well, let's just say I'm trying to help too.
Well, I'm sure you'll be able to, Kelly.
It's funny, you know, the way things can be pulled apart. You know? Well, both of us are involved in our professional careers right now. She with hers, and me with mine. Instead of bringing us together, it's just pulling us further apart. Also, I realized lately that there's, well, maybe we didn't know each other as well as we thought we did.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that Jody's attention is someplace else.
Someplace else. Is that where or
and Wiley. The trouble is, I don't think that either of them are quite aware of it yet.
But you're sure of it?
Yes. Yes, I am now.
Well, is that why you're backing away from Jody?
Well, that's one of the reasons, but there are others.
Such as?
Such as Skylar Whitney. I don't think that he's a very honest or trustworthy producer. He's a manipulator. He maneuvers people to get out of them just what his little heart desires. And I don't trust him. I don't think that Jody should either.
Well, I don't really know him that well, so I don't have an opinion on that.
Well, in any case, Jody and I are moving further and further apart. It's gradual, but believe me, it's there.
And you think Jody's moving closer to Gavin?
That's okay. See, that's what I wanted to talk to her about at lunch today, but the timing was wrong. She's very nervous and uptight right now with the opening coming up, which is very soon. I just couldn't ask her to deal with a heavy emotional subject like that. She's got too many other things on her mind.
Well, I can understand that.
I'm glad. Because that means we can understand each other. Well, listen, why don't we go over to the cars now and have that drink I was talking about, huh?
Why are you so nervous, Miss Travis? Mr. Whitney asked me to drive you home.
Me, I'm not nervous.
Oh, why do you keep looking out the rear window?
I'm just making sure that you're going the right way, that's all.
Oh, you'll get there safe. After all, it's my job. You see, Mr. Whitney, he likes to be very careful about his properties, his investments, you understand? And that's my job, is to look after everything he owns, including people that work for him.
Gunther, people aren't property or investments. I don't care what Mr. Whitney says. People haven't owned people in this country since 1865. What you're talking about is slavery.
1865, huh? Well, imagine that. And I think somebody better tell Mr. Skylar Whitney that, because he sure thinks he owns you, Miss Travis. Yeah. And he owns your little friend, Gavin Wiley, and he owns his lawyer, Stuart Cademan, and his wife, Raven. Yeah. He even owns me, Gunther S. Wagner.
Gunther, he might think he owns all those other people, but he doesn't. He doesn't own me.
Ha! You can think what you want.
I will. You know, it's very clear to me that you don't like your employer very much, do you?
Well, that's not true. Now, listen. I left a very good life to go to work for Mr. Skylar Whitney. Yeah, I know. He compensates me very well for my loss, but not well enough.
What kind of good life did you leave to go work for Mr. Whitney, Gunther?
I left a very nice little woman and a very comfortable home life. And I think that proves what I think about my fine employer.
You were married?
Did I say I was married? No, I was living with my little lady friend until the trouble.
What trouble? What kind of trouble? Oh, I can just imagine the trouble.
I don't think you'd believe the trouble I went through with that woman.
You know, you're right. I probably wouldn't believe it. So you know what? You don't even have to tell me. Just drive me home, okay?
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to tell you anyway. I mean, see, she was a little off upstairs, you see. And now, I mean, damn it, she went right around the bend, and everything was, just fine, until she started seeing all these little crawly things come through the windows. And then that's when I knew that I had to put her in an institution where she could get some help. I mean, hell, I couldn't handle her anymore. And it's too bad, because I kind of miss her. Yeah. We had some very good times, me and that little lady. She was so cute. And kind of sexy looking. Just like you. Yeah, just like you. You know, I think we ought to find a place to stop.
No! No, Gunther, you don't have to stop.
No. Yeah. Come look, I know a place right around here. I've parked here before.
No, Gunther, you don't have to stop. Just take me home. That's all I want to do is go home.
A little easier, don't you think? I mean, I kind of like to carry on a little bit, don't you?
Look, if you're going to drive me home, then do it. If not, just unlock the doors and let me out of here.
Why? You in a hurry? Kavanaugh's waiting dinner for you?
You know, I don't doubt it. They probably are. And if I'm not home soon, Gunther, they're really going to start to get worried. They'll come out looking for me.
Oh, well, no, that's too bad. I mean, that's not good at all. Listen, I'll tell you what. If you're hungry, we'll stop someplace, get a hamburger and a beer, huh, after a while.
No. I think that you have had enough beer, right?
It wasn't beer. Well, it wasn't champagne. I know that that's your drink.
Look, I'm waiting. Now move this car.
Oh, God, you sound just like a cop. Now move this car. Well, I'm not going to move it. I'm going to sit right here until we get to know each other a little bit.
No, I don't want to know you any better than I already do. In fact, I don't want to know you at all. So just please start the car and take me home.
Oh, come on now. Don't play like you don't want to know me better. Now, look, I told you the difference between a man and a boy. But you've just been wondering about that all this time. Just bet you have. So? I think I'm going to come back there and we can talk about it. Okay?
No, Gunther, just leave me alone. No!
It looked like I was going to be really happy for the first time. And she had to go and ruin it. She couldn't just let me be. She couldn't just let me be. All right, now wait a minute. Just take it easy. Just think. All right. She knows. Why the hell did she have to find out? Why? All right, okay, never mind that now. Just think it out. For God's sake, just think it out.
Hello, baby. I'm starved. How about you?
Oh, that's right, dinner. Well, why don't you go talk to Chrissy?
Well, I fear that whatever was cooking in there is probably all dried up by now.
Well, as I told you, dear, that is your department, so why don't you handle it?
Oh. Okay. Tell you what. Why don't I, fix up one of my special combinations?
Such as?
Let's see. Such as frozen pizza, champagne. And I'll even make it. Except Chrissy has to put it in the oven.
Well, that's rather a curious combination. But then again, you're rather a curious person, aren't you?
Well, I'll, be right back. Wanted to spend time with us, Valerie. Is it our air conditioning?
It is hot out, isn't it?
Oh,
Yes, but you know it wasn't that, Mrs. Carr. When Kelly suggested it at dinner, I said, let's go.
Well, I hope you'll always feel welcome in this house, Valerie. Here, here.
The truth is, I'm very, very grateful to be with friends. Tonight especially.
why tonight especially?
Well, it's just that I've been having this problem. I haven't been able to sleep recently. I just lie there and think about my father. I've been wondering whether I will ever be able to speak to him again. And it's very frustrating because there are a lot of things that I want to say to him.
Valerie, the Kavanaughs were here with us for dinner tonight, and Dr. Kavanaugh suggested that the reason for your father's slow recovery might be due in part to his lack of motivation, that perhaps it's his way of retreating from reality.
That thought occurred to me too, Mr. Carr. Heaven knows the realities are enough to make anyone retreat.
Well, you are aware that he feels he's protecting you.
Oh, yes, I'm aware of that, Miss Carr.
It's just awfully hard to deal with.
Val, you haven't met Miles and Nicole Kavanaugh yet, have you?
No, I haven't actually met them. I did take some pictures of them at the Whitney wedding, though.
Right. Well, when you do, you'll love them because they're great people.
It's too bad you didn't arrive earlier while they were still here, but Nicole had to go back to the station for the late news.
Well, it's about time for that now, isn't it? Would you like to watch, Val?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
The fire was brought under control by 3 units of the Monticello Fire Department after 9 hours of battling the blaze. Fire Chief Dudley Harmon says that there will be a full investigation to determine the cause of the fire. Damages are estimated at $500,000. And this just in. Dr. Kenneth Bryson, the plastic surgeon indicted in the kidnapping of Nancy Carr, has died. Several days ago, Dr. Bryson suffered a severe heart attack and
I'm sorry. We all are. Look, it's terrible that you're going to have to hear it like this.
Valerie, we're going to help you. Oh, no, you're not going to be alone. You won't.
Look behind you.
Valerie, I want you to stay with us tonight, right here.
Valerie Bryson, who now resides in Monticello. After receiving degrees in Europe, Dr. Bryson began a distinguished career as a plastic surgeon, first in France and Switzerland. His expertise was sought by international jet setters, politicians, and movie stars. As his reputation spread, other clients, notable in the underworld, began to seek out Dr. Bryson's skills. These clients paid huge sums of money to have their features altered in order to escape pursuit by legal or political enemies. Eventually, Dr. Bryson was able to found a chain of clinics throughout Western Europe. In particular, the clinic in Lucerne, Switzerland, became notorious as a surgical center. This was where no questions were asked of any patient who could afford the astronomical fees. A reliable source has reported that patients at these clinics were given numbers, like Swiss bank accounts, to ensure their privacy. Gradually, the Bryson clientele consisted almost exclusively of members of international crime syndicates and terrorist groups, all seeking anonymity. The services offered by the Bryson clinics allegedly were sustained by either blackmail or coercion. One infamous client was Ira Gideon, a renowned embezzler now serving a term in the state penitentiary. When Swiss authorities became troubled by the Bryson clinic's unsavory reputation, they began an investigation of Dr. Bryson and his staff. It was then that the operation moved from Switzerland and established new bases in the United States. In Monticello, the establishment was called the Rexford Institute, and it was named after Dr. Bryson's second wife, Elizabeth Rexford. It is unknown, and may never be determined, how many identities were changed both here and abroad by the skillful, if misguided, artistry of Dr. Kenneth Bryson. The fact that perhaps hundreds of underworld figures have escaped detection with the help of Dr. Bryson's plastic surgery, an investigation is underway in an attempt to reveal at least some of the names of patients involved in what is known in official investigative circles as the Janus operation. The search goes on. Unquestionably, it will be a long one, And it is in Lucerne, Switzerland, where the investigation is centered, at least at present.
Is, Lucerne near Zurich?
Yeah, yes, matter of fact. I believe it is. To, Dr. Bryson. May he rest in peace.